Before presenting awards, we'd like to first of all thank the many volunteers, sponsors, and contributors who made today possible. Let's have one more round of applause for all the incredible performances by our bands today. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with our Class Single A Awards. The award for Outstanding Music Performance in Single A is sponsored by Maggie Smith's grandparents, presented by Maggie Smith, and goes to Indian Hill High School. The award for Single A Outstanding Visual Performance, sponsored by Maggie Smith's grandparents, presented by Maggie Smith, goes to Indian Hill High School. And the award for Outstanding General Effect, sponsored in memory of Pawpaw Big Truck, presented by Amy Peters, goes to Indian Hill High School. The award for Outstanding Auxiliary, sponsored by the Olds family and presented by Evie Olds, goes to Indian Hill High School. The award for Outstanding Percussion, sponsored by the Everett family, presented by Case Moeller, goes to Indian Hill High School. All right, the third place trophy, sponsored by the Metzler family, presented by Katie Renee Metzler, goes to Switzerland County High School Marching Band. And our second place trophy, sponsored by Doctors McCarroll and Martin and presented by Maggie Smith, goes to the Rising Sunshiner Pride Marching Band. And our Class 1A first place trophy, sponsored by the Christensen family, presented by Lena and Sophia Christensen, goes to Indian Hill High School. All right, moving up to the 2A class. Our trophy for outstanding music performance, sponsored by the Wasty family and presented by Brett Wasty, goes to Taylor High School Marching Band. The Class 2A trophy for outstanding visual performance, sponsored by the Holton family and presented by Emma Holton, goes to the Taylor High School Marching Band. The Class 2A trophy for outstanding general effect, sponsored by the Rigsby family and presented by Claire and Rowan Rigsby, goes to the Taylor High School Marching Band. The Class 2A trophy for outstanding auxiliary, sponsored by the Vincent family, presented by Ashley Vincent, goes to the Taylor High School Marching Band. Class 2A Outstanding Percussion, sponsored by Sugar Fix Sweets, presented by Michael Powell, goes to the Taylor High School Marching Band. And in third place for Class 2A, sponsored by Rizzo Reed and presented by B. Wasty, goes to East Clinton High School. Class 2A second place, sponsored by the Panstingle family, presented by Tyler and Sebastian Panstingle, goes to Simon Kenton High School. And the first place trophy in Class 2A, sponsored by the Dan family and presented by Maddie Dan, goes to Taylor High School Marching Band. Moving on to Class 3A, starting with Outstanding Music Performance, sponsored in memory of Pawpaw Big Truck and presented by Amy Peters, goes to Piqua High School. And the Class 3A Outstanding Visual Performance, sponsored by Carrie Remhoff and Kimmy Reed, presented by Kimmy Reed, goes to John Hardin High School. Class 3A Outstanding General Effect, sponsored by Carrie Remhoff and Kimmy Reed, presented by Kimmy Reed, goes to John Hardin High School. Class 3A Outstanding Auxiliary, sponsored by Sheldon Oppo, presented by Sheldon Oppo, goes to Piqua High School. And Class 3A Outstanding Percussion, sponsored by the Dickerson family, presented by Cash Dickerson, goes to John Hardin High School. Class 3A, our third place trophy, is sponsored by Rizzo Reed and presented by Chris Haar, goes to Lebanon High School. Our Class 3A second place trophy, sponsored by Rizzo Reed, presented by Andrew Grissom, goes to Piqua High School. And in first place in Class 3A, sponsored by the Smith family and presented by Maggie Smith, John Hardin High School. Moving on to Class 4A. Starting with Outstanding Music Performance, sponsored by the Rodenroth family and presented by Eli Rodenroth, Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. Class 4A Outstanding Visual Performance, sponsored by the Bellbrook Music Boosters, presented by Charlotte Murray, Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. Class 4A Outstanding General Effect, sponsored by the Battelle family and presented by Claire Battelle, goes to Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. Class 4A Outstanding Auxiliary, sponsored by the Rodenroth family, presented by Sydney Rodenroth, goes to Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. And Class 4A Outstanding Percussion, sponsored by the Sponsored by the Silence family and presented by Hayden Silence, goes to Kings High School. And our Class 4A third place trophy, sponsored by the Bellbrook Music Boosters, presented by Victor Cronenberger, goes to Dixie Heights High School. Class 4A second place, sponsored by Rizzo Reed, presented by Landon Adams, goes to Kings High School. And Class 4A first place, sponsored by the Bird family and presented by drum major Isabella Bird, goes to Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. All right, moving on to Class 5A. So West Claremont was our only entry in Class 5A. So I'm just going to read down all of our sponsors and presenters, and unless anyone objects, we'll do a nice big group photo here. All right, so Outstanding General Effect was sponsored by the Bellbrook Music Boosters and presented by Brielle Richardson. Outstanding Music Performance, also sponsored by the Bellbrook Music Boosters and presented by Riley Smith. Outstanding Visual Performance, sponsored by the Dan family, presented by Maddie Dan. Outstanding Auxiliary, sponsored by the Rodenroth family, presented by Sydney Rodenroth. Outstanding Percussion, sponsored by the Dickerson family and presented by Cash Dickerson. And then the first place trophy in 5A, sponsored by the North family, presented by Sophie North, all goes to West Claremont High School. All right, next up we've got our general awards. I'd like to start with one of my favorites, the Outstanding Pit Crew. This is for the pit moms, the pit dads, all the people who helped make that band move. And this year it goes to the Simon Kenton High School Pit Crew. And that is sponsored by the Bellbrook Pit Crew and presented by Claire Rigsby. All right, on to our grand champions. So today's Reserve Grand Champion Award is sponsored by Dr. Kozad and presented by David Hahn. Our Reserve Grand Champion for 2024 is Kings High School Marching Band. All right, our 2024 Grand Champion, sponsored by TJ Awards, presented by Dr. Kozad, goes to definitely the shyest cheering section here, Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School Marching Band.
Nice job,
We'd like to once again thank our sponsors, volunteers, and judges for making this event possible. We wish to thank all of our participating bands, wish them the best of luck in the remainder of the competition season, safe travels, and have a great night, everyone.